How is it going, guys? We are sitting inside the GR Corolla. You guys probably forgot that I had this car. I kind of forgot that I had it. We haven't done much with it since, so I don't blame you, but that changes today. I'm gonna try and make it a little bit more fun to drive. We're not touching anything in terms of performance, but one of the things that I noticed the few times that I have driven it, even though this car has the JBL speaker upgrade, is that the sound system is not all that great. And it makes sense because the sound system in these types of cars is not a huge priority. When you think about it, the head unit does a lot of different stuff besides controlling the audio. You've got the touchscreen, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, navigation, the backup camera, and a bunch of other stuff. So again, sound quality, not up there in terms of priority. However, that is where this comes into play. This is the Beatsonic Encore Alpha Power Amplifier. This was designed specifically to improve your sound quality. It was engineered by audio engineers in Japan utilizing high quality Japanese components. I actually have one of these installed in my GR86, and it's one of the most popular products on the Driven Media website for those cars because it actually makes a noticeable difference. So I'm hoping it does the same in this car. It's also designed to work perfectly with your OEM speakers and head unit, so you don't have to worry about swapping those out. So it's a very easy install, it's plug and play, plus it has a very small footprint. Once you have this installed, you're not gonna see that it's installed, but hopefully we can hear the difference. So let me show you guys exactly what you need to do to get this thing installed. The first thing we're gonna do is remove this bezel around the radio. There's a lip that goes all the way around the edge, so we're just gonna grab onto that and pull straight towards the back of the car, and it should pop free. Just set that up here. Now we're gonna grab a hold of the HVAC control system here. I'm just gonna stick my fingers through the vents here. Make sure you're not pulling on this part of the vent, otherwise you're probably gonna break it. So just carefully pull, again, straight towards the back of the car. And then there's gonna be two connectors on the back side of this that we'll need to disconnect. Just have to depress a tab and pull it out. There's one. Okay. We're gonna pop off the side of the dashboard here, so grab a plastic removal tool and just pry that towards the side of the car. It's just some clips holding it in place. Before we remove the radio, we're gonna pop out this whole piece of the dash. There's a Phillips head screw right in the center here. And now we can just pull this straight towards the back of the car to pop the clips out. To remove the radio, there's gonna be 4 10mm bolts on the underside, 2 on each side. 2 of them on the bottom are facing towards the back of the car, and then the other 2 are facing downwards. Just be careful not to drop these into your dash because it's not gonna be fun fishing them out. Now that those are out, I'm gonna put a microfiber down here so that we have a place to rest the radio on. I'm just gonna grab the edges and pull straight towards the back. And we'll just set that down right there. There's really only 2 connectors that we need to disconnect, but I'm also going to disconnect these 2 smaller ones to get them out of the way. Just remember where they go. These are pretty much color coded, so you shouldn't be able to mess this up. Okay, so with those out of the way, these 2 right here, this black one and this gray one, are the only 2 that you need to remove. All 3 of these in the center here are the same type of connectors. So if you end up removing the wrong one, say this black or this white one, and you plug the included harness into one of the ones that is not this one, you're gonna short something out and it's not gonna be a good time. So make sure you're only removing this gray one right here and then this black one. There's even a little reminder on the included harness that says use the leftmost connector when you're looking at it from the back. Use the leftmost one and don't connect it to any of the other ones. So we're gonna remove this black one and this gray one. So we'll plug in the included connector. Make sure it clicks to lock into place. You want to listen for that audible click. If you don't push it in all the way, you won't get a good connection and you'll likely end up with some errors. And we'll plug the black one in. There we go. Again, listen for that click. And then we will connect the corresponding cables that we disconnected to the other side of the daisy chain. Okay, now you're gonna see this black wire right here. We need to ground this onto one of the bolts on the side of the radio. I almost said radiator. So I'm just gonna take our Phillips head screwdriver and remove one of these. Actually, it's on there pretty tight, so I'm gonna need to grab, I think they're an 8mm. So I'm gonna go grab an 8mm. I've got my 8mm socket now. I'm gonna loosen up that bolt. You don't need to remove it all the way, you just need a big enough gap to slide the wire into. Then we'll tighten it back up. All right. Remember to plug in the connectors that we disconnected. So the black and brown one. So now we have a couple different options depending on where you want to mount or store our amp. In Beatsonic's video, I think they stuff it into this crevice back here, which will work, but personally, I feel like it might rattle around a little bit there and I don't want any rattles in the car. So what I'm gonna do instead is mount it underneath all of this. So let me put the radio back and then I'll show you guys where I'm going to mount it. So we're gonna carefully tuck all the wiring back inside and push the radio back into its slot, making sure that we aren't pinching any of the wires, especially the ones that we just installed. Okay. I'm gonna reinstall the 10mm bolts that we took out to secure the radio. All right. Guys, but you can see those blue relays right there that are underneath the vents. Underneath the relay control box or relay box or whatever you want to call it, there is a perfect slot with just enough room to slide the amp down underneath and wedge it between that box and then the trim piece that sits above the center console. And then over on the right side, I can't show you because there's not enough room, there's some places to zip tie the harness to keep it from sliding around. So that is where I'm going to mount my amp. You can also mount it over to the right side here. There's some room inside this crevice, but this is where I'm gonna choose to mount mine because I feel like it's the most secure location. So let me first connect it to the harness, make sure everything works, and then we can install it into place. I'm gonna take our new harness and plug in our amp. Pretty self-explanatory. You can only plug these in one way. Okay, I believe that is locked in. Yep. Now what we're gonna do is set the gain on the back side here. So on the back, you can see the gain with the rear and the front. We're gonna leave the rear as is. Beatsonic already did our homework for us, so leave the rear as is, and we're gonna adjust the front gain a tad bit, because if you leave it at the 12 o'clock position that it's set at right now, when you turn your music up, you're gonna get a little bit of distortion, which is obviously not desirable. So what you're gonna do, take a flathead screwdriver, and we're gonna turn this dial counterclockwise until the top is at the 10 o'clock position, so right about there. So now this is pretty much ready to install. Well, actually, I'm gonna wrap some foam tape around the edges here to prevent any rattling before we stuff this into our dash. So in the package, Beatsonic includes some foam tape as well as some Velcro tape, depending on where you are mounting this. We're not gonna need the Velcro tape, so we'll just be grabbing the 2 pieces of the foam tape here. Grab this, and I'm just gonna wrap the bottom side up towards the sides, like so. Okay, there's one piece, and the second piece we'll do the same thing, but on the other side. All right, let's see if I can stuff this down here. Oh, my thumb's stuck. Oh God. I think we're caught on something. What is that? Dogs are going crazy over here. All right, perfect. Slid in there. I'm gonna try and move it around, see if it catches anything or is rattling at all. The foam tape is holding it in place pretty well. So like I said, there's some spots to zip tie it over on the right side where the harness is gonna be. So what I'm gonna do is zip tie the harness in place, and because the harness is obviously connected to the amp, it's not gonna go anywhere, and it's wedged between that relay box and the trim piece, so that should kind of firmly hold it in place as well. Let me see if I can give you guys a better look now that this is somewhat installed. But you see that silver box there underneath the blue relays? That is our amp. You can kind of see it through this hole right here. So again, right underneath the relays. And then it's probably too dark, but right under that bolt, it's tucked back in a little bit more. Right under here, there is a spot to zip tie the harness, and that way, let's see, if I try and move the box at all. Yeah, I'm putting some pressure on the box from side to side, and it isn't going anywhere, so that amp is secure in place. So now, we just need to take the rest of the harness, zip tie it up, and stuff it into this crevice. Just gonna bundle this up. Sure it's nice and neat. Snip this. Now we can just tuck this back into here. And that should do it. Now we are ready to, well, first I'm gonna test this out to make sure it works like it's supposed to, and then we can put everything back. I can already tell that sounds way better. The radio is working like it's supposed to with the amp installed, so let's get the rest of this stuff put back together. Don't forget to reinstall this Phillips head screw. Grab our AC controls. Make sure to plug the 2 connectors back in. There we go. Radio bezel. Now I just need to pop in the side panel on the dashboard, and we are set to test this thing out. I've got everything put back together, so what I'm gonna do is play the same song that I played earlier with the stock system. Same settings, same volume, not gonna mess with the EQ. I'm gonna put the camera and the mic in the same spot, close the doors, and we will take a listen to see if we can hear a difference. I don't know how well that translates through the camera, but I can honestly say that it does make a very noticeable difference. It's pretty comparable to the difference it made in my GR86. The sound is just more rich, it's more crisp and clean. I feel like I can hear things that I wasn't able to hear before. The bass is deeper and more punchy. It just sounds much better overall. And you guys saw, we didn't touch the speakers, we didn't change the head unit. All we did was install that amp. So if you are wanting to upgrade your audio system, whether you have the bass or you have the JBL upgrade, and you don't want to mess with changing out all the speakers or the head unit, this is a no-brainer. If I didn't have to film this, the install would take probably half an hour. So if you guys are wanting to pick one of these up for yourself, the link is down in the description. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, comment down below. I am always happy to help. I'm definitely gonna be driving this car more often. I do need to get a front plate on here so I don't get pulled over, but we've got more mods to come. If you want to see something specific, please let me know and we'll see what we can make happen. But that is going to do it for today. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. If you are, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.